Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Oracle DB Online Training. So in this session, we are going to look how to upgrade any database which is on 11G version. And we are upgrading it to 19C latest version, that is 1912. So I'll be guiding you through how you can perform the database upgradation of any RAC database which is currently running on the 11G version. So I'm first doing the grid upgradation, then I'll do the RDBMS home upgradation. So the entire process will be a step-by-step guide. So please watch till the end of this video so that you can understand better. And before I begin, I'll request all the new friends to please subscribe my YouTube channel Oracle DB Online Training. As you have seen already, there are a lot of videos for learning, and we have previously covered how to perform the Golden Gate replication. Even the 21C rack configuration we have covered, and there are so many different topics we have gone through, like data guard management, as well as the rack database configuration, database software installation, patching. And even though we have looked at various upgradation like 12C release to 19C manual upgrade method or auto upgrade method, there are so many things you can learn from the scratch. So everything is given step by step. So I think you are already enjoying these videos. And also you can get in touch with me on these various social media platforms like Facebook, or on my Telegram page, or you can also join me on the LinkedIn as well as on Twitter. So just to follow me and get the best of my YouTube channel. And apart from that, recently we have also launched a exclusive membership program. So you can just click on the join now buttons, and also you can enjoy the exclusive benefit from my YouTube channel. So coming back to today's agenda of Oracle 19C rack upgradation. So we are going to upgrade from 11G to 19C. So let's start today's session. I'll be going back to my prompt. So this is our 2-node rack database which is currently up and running. This is the first node, and this one is my second node, which is a part of this cluster. So let me just show you the detail first. So if you log in into, or you just run the ps-ef grep pmon command. So here you can see the database ASM. I mean, this is up and running, and this is the ORCL database, which is the first node. And same way, if you run on the same command on the second node, you can verify it. Okay. So both my database are up and running along with the grid infrastructure. Even though if you run the d.bin commands to verify the what is the daemon, so this is running from the 11G home. Okay, we are going to upgrade it to 19C latest version. And apart from that, if you want, you can verify the database details by logging to the SQL prompt. So I'll just go back to SQL Plus, and I'll already have a 11G profile which I created previously. So I'm going to use that one and to log into the database server. So the prerequisite for this session, your database has to be 11G database has to be latest patched. And since 11G versions are getting scrapped, that's why I'm making this video, so that a smooth our database upgradation you can follow from 11G to 19C version. Okay, so this is our current database environment. You can see the two instances, ORCL1 and ORCL2 is up and running on the two nodes, like node 1 and node 2. Okay, and apart from that, so as a first process of upgradation, what you need to do is you have to download the latest 19C software along with the latest patch. As we are already familiar, the July 2021 patch is already enrolled by the Oracle. So what you can do, you can just make sure along with the database software or RDBMS grid home softwares. So what you have to do is download the latest patch. I'll provide you patch ID that will be applicable to your grid as well as RDBMS home. So once you downloaded it, you just have to transfer on the server. So I already did it. I'll show you where I kept these files. So if you go to the Oracle home location of database, so I'll just show you. So for that, I already created a specific profile for 19C. So if you run en command for verifying the environment variables, so this is currently my 19C home. I'll just go to this path. Okay, once I'll come here, I'll run the lsf and lrt command. So you can see this database home along with the latest Apache utility already transferred on this location. And apart from that, I'll just go back to the grid home also. I'll show you the same thing. I already, I'll already created 19C profile also. So these profiles are already in place, and even though we have created the directory structure. So after that, I'll just switch to the 19C home, running the Oracle home command. You just have to follow the same steps. So now if you run opatch command, I mean LSF and LRT, so we can verify we have already unzipped the latest 19C software. And along with that, already, I mean, unzipped this opatch utility also to the latest version. And I kept my latest patch on this path which I'm going to use. So this is the patch ID. If you want, you can note it down, and you just have to search on Oracle support for this patch. This is basically a 1912 patch that you are going to use for your upgradation process. Okay, so now I'm going to show what are the steps that we need to perform in order to upgrade your any database which is currently running as a 11204 and 11G with the I mean the latest patch, whatever the patch you are having, you just have to apply on your both grid as well as RDBMS home on the 11G version of your database. Once that is done, then you just have to download the latest software from for 19C along with the latest patch. So once that is all done, then you have to follow the steps that I'm going to share with you. Okay, so this is our current environment details that is running on the two specific nodes, node 1 as well as node 2, and this is going to be our target. So after upgrading this database, we will be running the database to the 1912. Okay, so as a first part of upgradation, what we have to do, we have to make sure all the patches are in place. So if you run the opatch ls20 grep applied command from 11G home, that means I need to first run the profile for 11G home. So now I exported the path as well as I executed this command. So this is, you can see, this is basically an 11G patch which I already applied. Okay, so these patches are already in place, and the same way you need to verify for RDBMS home also. Meanwhile, I'll request any one of you, if having any question regarding any steps, you can just mention, or you can send me an email also. I have already provide those details in the description, so you can send me mail. I'll definitely try to help. So this is 11G home. So I'll just execute the same command which I executed earlier in order to verify the patch. So let's verify it quickly. Here we can see the two patches are already in place. These are the basically latest patch. If you want to verify what exactly these patches are, so you can run opatch ls patches also, that will provide you some details also. So this command is basically a bit wrong, so we can re-execute. So these are the basically a patch set update, which is I think October 20 patch. So I already applied this patch which was available on Metalink. So I downloaded and already applied the 11G patch. Okay, so now we have already completed our pre-checks, and even though we can verify the details, certain details like what is the components, what is the, I mean, if there is an invalid object, so all these steps we can verify by logging to the database. So now I'm going to log into the database and verify these details. Let me just execute the command. So here we can see all the components are currently valid, and there is no role selected for any invalid objects. And this is a cluster database, that means it is running open modes, and even though we have applied the patches also successfully. Okay, so once these steps are done, these are basically a pre-checks, you can say. And after that, we need to download the latest 19C software. Along with that, we need to create the directory structure that we already did it. Okay, so for that also, you should make sure that you create a profile also. Otherwise, what will happen during the time of installation or during the time of upgradation, if you're missing the homes, there might be some issue or some challenge you are going to face. So to avoid those challenges, what you can do, you can just separately create two separate profiles, one for Oracle 11G home and another for the 19C home, like this. So this is the 11G profile and this is 19C. So whenever I want to switch to 19, I'll just load the profile for 19C home, and whenever I want to. So once my upgradation is done, then I'll directly define this 19C profile in the batch profile, so that we don't have to reload it again and again. So I hope this much is clear. So after downloading the patch, the next step that we need to follow is to run this query grid setup.sh apply RU with the latest patch which we have already downloaded. So this is the location where I kept all my patches. So what I'm going to do is I'll execute this command that is grid setup.sh apply RU, and this is going to apply the latest patch first, and then it will do the actual 19c installation. So the upgradation of any database or grid infrastructure from 1911 from 11 version to the 19c version, it will be basically going from like first we can use like apply RU options of 19c feature. So it is not a 19c feature, basically this is from the 12c onwards, but this will first apply the patch on the 19c home, and after that only it will allow us to upgrade the database. So we are making sure that the database will be to the latest version. So this is basically a 1912 patch. If you want, you can, I'll just provide you the patch location, and this is basically a part of like OJVM patch along with the grid and RDBMS July 20 patch. So if you want, you can download it. So within that we have this latest patch, which is basically a combination of grid as well as RDBMS patch. So we have to basically consider the subdirectory also. And now you can see this is applying the patch first, and after that it will invoke the graphical interface for actual upgradation process. Okay. So we are using the grid setup.sh, and currently my 11G homes are still up and running as we have already verified it. And if you run the ps-ef grep pmon commands, this is keep on running. And even though on the second node is also the same status, and then parallelly we are trying to upgrade the database from the 11G to 19C version. I hope you are understanding how we have to perform this upgradation process. If you have any queries so far, you just mention in the comment. Also, you can send me an email. And there is a small request, if any guys is interested about the personal training, so get in touch with me on the numbers. I'll provide the numbers in the description. Please go through it. And I'm here always to help you guys. So please keep on subscribing my channels. And if you like this video, please click on like button. So let us this apply of patch finishes on the 19C home. Once this is finished, then we'll look how to perform the actual upgradation from 11G to 19C version. Meanwhile, I'll pause this video. Once this is done, I'll just come back. Okay. So guys, now we can see that this is a patch is basically got successfully applied, and after that we have the GUI applications for upgradation. So what I'll do, I'll just click on the upgrade Oracle Grid infrastructure, and I'll just click next from here. So it is basically detecting the existing homes. So these are the two homes on the node 1 as well as the node 2. After that, we have to click on the next. If you want, you can verify the SSH connectivity, but it is not mandatory. In the next step, it will automatically verify it, whether the testing of passwordless SSH is working or not. So here we can see that it is verifying it. And remember guys, our database is already up and running. So as of now, we haven't done any stoppage of the database. We are just trying to upgrade the database, grid infrastructure first from current 11G to 19C version. So our 11G home version is currently 11.204, and now you can see that it is asking me whether you have any OEMS configuration. So if you have anything, you can provide these details. Otherwise, you can move to the next page. And this is the Oracle base location, and this is going to be my 19C home location. Okay. So after that, we have to basically so this is saying that there is a less space you have detected. So what we can do, we can basically move ahead. That is not an issue. So I'll just move ahead. I'll click on the password here. I'll just provide the password. So let me just provide the password for root user. So now it is asking me whether you want to go in a batch. So batch 1 has to always be a node 1. So root script execution on the local node must be the batch 1. So if you are executing the script from, the installation from the node 1, so it has to be your batch 1, and the second one will be your batch 2. That means it will first do the upgradation on the first node, and after that it will go on the second node. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just select next from here, and it is just verifying the details in the backgrounds. Once that is done, then we can proceed further. If there is any issues with the existing database, I mean grid version, so it will throw those errors. We will try to look into it. Okay, so let us just wait for a few more minutes, and we'll let this prerequisite checks complete. I hope you are understanding how this flow is all about. So if you have any question, you just post in the comment. I'll definitely help. Okay. So now the pre-checks is completed. So after that, we can see that there are few errors and few failed warnings. So in the failed warning, we can see the ASM compatible setting is basically not up to the mark. So what we have to do, we have to make the compatible to 11.202. So for that, we have to basically execute this command from the 11G home, that is ASM CMD set attribute -G. This is my data disk group on which the ASM, the compatibility is lower. So what I'll do, I'll just modify its compatibility to 11.202. And even though there was some space issue, so I'll resolve that issue also. Let me just show you what I did is I just moved the patches from the U01 location to U02. Now we have the 12 GB space on the U01 and U02. It is 15 GB of free space. Okay, so I'll just come back to my original installer page, and if you look at these two warnings, what we can do, we can just re-execute, or the check again command, I'll just execute it. So it will re-verify all the values which we have passed. So now you can see only we have resolve.conf, that is since we don't have any DNS in configure on the server, so because of that we are getting this error, and apart from that swap is lesser, because of that we are getting these errors. So what we can do, we can ignore this safely and move to the further. So this is going to be upgraded from 11G to 19C home. So okay, I hope you are understanding how the upgrade is happening here. So let us submit this and wait for a few minutes and monitor the logs from the detail page. So once we click on the details, so it will show me some detail also. So now it is started with a configuration. Okay. So first it will do the changes on the local nodes, and after that it will go with a remote node configuration. And our current version of, the existing database doesn't have any impact as of now. So later it will bring down the database and other services on the first node. And so one more question, it comes into your mind, whether I should stop the database during the time of upgradation. So my answer is yes. You should always follow the best practices. Take the database instance on which you just take a safer approach, just to take a downtime before doing any such activity. So what you have to do, you have to take a down time and do the upgradation during that period of time. So here what is happening here, currently the 19C software are getting installed, and after that it will basically start upgradation process also in the backend. So the first node, that is the node 1 in our case, basically it will be upgraded to 19C, and later it will be upgrade the second node. Okay, so meanwhile, this process keeps on going. I'll just make it this video on pause. Once this will come for root execution steps, then I'll show what we need to do here. Okay, so currently it is upgrading to 19C. As we can see now, you can see this is copying the data to the remote node also. And if you want, you can just monitor the logs by just referring the installer page from where you have started this journey. Okay, so here we can see that it is now transferring the data from node to one of the nodes, and so I hope you are understanding. So what I'll do, I'll just provide some of the links. Maybe you can just go through in the description, and even how to download or how to perform some other operations. So those things are already provided in the description. Please go through it. And again, I'm saying, if you have any requirements for learning the personal training, please get in touch with me. I'm helping a lot of people for learning a new database stuff. So let's join. And apart from that, this is going to take a bit of time. I think we should wait for a few minutes. So let's wait here. Okay, guys, now we can see that our remote configuration is also completed. Now it is asking me to proceed with root script execution. So I'm just trying to execute the root script. So we have already provided the password at this junction. So we just have to click on yes in order to proceed with the root script execution. So here you can see the root execution script happens basically first on the node 1, that is batch 1, which is currently in progress. And after that, I will go with the batch 2, that is a node 2 script execution. So this is in basically a node by node script execution. Okay. So this is basically a simplest way of doing the grid upgradation. And now what we can do, we can just look into the logs and what is exactly happening. We have to verify. Okay. So if you want to learn how to upgrade any 12C database from maybe 12C to 19C, you can watch our description. I'll just provide the links there. You can just refer those steps to perform the 12C database upgrade, whether it is a 12C release 1 or release 2, both you can upgrade by watching my videos. And here we are seeing that script execution from the root is in progress. So meanwhile, what we can do, we can just monitor the logs from here. And basically this is trying to configure the database. So let me just go back again here. I'll just try to execute psfn grep emon commands. So as of now, there is nothing is happening in the backend, but it will surely update. I'll stop the database first. And, it will basically upgrade that grid infrastructure from 11G to 19C. Okay. Now, if you look at this upgradation process, so in between what we can do, we can just verify what is the current software version across all the nodes. So in order to verify that, we have to run the CRS-ETL query CRS software version -all command, so that you can verify what is the current version. So I'll just go to the U01 and try to execute this command software version -all. And so this is basically still, I think the cluster is just down as of now. Because of that, we are not getting this output. As soon as this will come up, we can see the outputs. Okay, so this is just trying to upgrade the database. So let's wait for a few minutes more. And so now I'll just try to re-execute it, because you can see in the background the alerts of CRS. We can see that it is getting started. Because of that, we are not getting the outputs completely. So meanwhile, this upgrade is also happening. So let me just go back to my commands here. I'll try to re-execute it. Maybe it will work. If it is not, we'll try with the 19Z home also. And okay. So now we are able to fetch the output. So we can see it is still 11204, and in the backgrounds 19C alert log, we can see this devices are, grid infrastructure is getting upgraded. And if you look at the alerts, CRS alert from the node 1, that is we can see this is Oracle high availability started with the 19c version, and this is basically node 1 upgraded to the version 19.1. Okay, so I'll just re-execute these commands. I think you can see here that node 1 cluster is upgraded to the 19 version. That means this process is successfully completed on the first node. Okay, now it will go with the second node execution. So I hope you are understanding how this process goes one by one. Okay, and even though we can just verify the database details on this server, so let me just re-execute the ps-ef grep pmon commands. So as of now, only ASM is up and running on this home, and you can run the d.bin also in order to verify the um, binaries from which it is running. So it is, you can see it is running from the 19th, whereas same thing we can just verify on the second node, and here we can see that pmon is still running and the database is also running. And if you run the d.bin, so it is currently running with 11g home. That means our first node is successfully upgraded, and the only thing is pending now second node. Okay, so let's wait for a few more minutes. I think it is just a restarting of Oracle high availability on the node 1. So it is basically a part of upgrade process. So we don't have to worry about why it is getting restarted again. So we just have to be little patient. And this upgrade process basically took around half an hour. So for a grid infrastructure, at least half an hour. So I think you should always consider a bit of buffer time also whenever you are doing any such activities, so that you don't have to worry at the last moment. Okay, and now as of now still it is in the progress is 32%. So once the node 1 all the background activities finishes, then I will move to the next node, that is our node 2 in our case. Okay, so I hope you are enjoying this session. If you have any queries so far, I'll definitely try to help. Just you have to do one thing, that you need to mention in the comment box, and also you can. I'll request all the new friends or the existing friends, please join our exclusive membership program. So where you are getting a lot of exclusive contents. So you should consider this as an opportunity to join our exclusive membership by clicking the join now option there. Okay, so let this process finish. Maybe let it move to the batch 2. Then I'll be back. Meanwhile, we should take some break here. So guys, now if you look at the ps-ef grep pmon commands, and you can see the ASM as well as my Oracle database on node 1 is automatically started by the upgradation process. So now the process is basically moving on to the second node. So it will be doing the upgradation on second node. So as of now, this process not yet started, but it will surely start in a few minutes. And we can see the cluster is successfully started on the first node, and the second node, basically the database is getting down. Sorry, not the database getting down, just it was rebalancing is happening. So the remastering of the it's happened because the second node also first node the database started. Okay, so I think this is just moving further, and node 1 configuration is almost finished, and after that it will start the node 2 process. So as of now, my first node is basically upgraded with the 19c grade infrastructure, and we need to basically do the database upgradation later. So as of now, we are focusing on the grade infrastructure upgrade. Okay, if you run the ps-d.bin, it is the 19c home. This is on the node 1. If you look at ps-ef grep d.bin on the second node, so it is still 19c. So the next thing you can see here, we have the another prompt, that is a root execute batch one is completed, and it is asking me to whether you want to proceed with the second batch. So I'll click on execute now. You can also choose execute later also. So I'll just go with execute now, so that it can proceed with the second node operation. Okay, so my first batch is successfully completed, and you can see the node configuration started on node 2 configuration started with this. Okay, that means it is going ahead with the upgradation on the second node. So our first node upgradation is already completed, and now we are going ahead with the second node. I hope you are understanding how this flow goes. And if you have any query at any point, any junction, you can just write a message in comment. I'll definitely help. And and as a best practice, I'll always I'll always suggest you guys to take a complete backup of your 11g home, as well as your database backup, and database home backup also. You just take before doing any activity, so that in case of anything goes wrong, what you can do, you can just make sure you can roll back the changes that you are doing it. So this is what my suggestion is. And I hope you are understanding how to upgrade the database, as well as a grade from 19c to the from 11g to 19c latest version. Okay, so just watch this video. And mm, so in the later part of this video, I'm going to cover how to upgrade the RDBMS home. So as of now, we are just focusing on the grid infrastructure. And you can see the database is basically down on the second node. So after that, it will basically start with a if we look at the database on the second node, now it is down, and ASM is currently up and running, but it will be also get down during the time of upgrade. So there is a one important announcement that I'm going to make, and in maybe in this coming weeks, I'm going to start the live streaming. So so that you guys can get in touch with me on live session for live interaction. And if you want, I'm going to announce very soon. So keep watching our community tab, so that you can keep on getting all these updates. So within a week, we are going to start this live streaming, so that all your questions can be answered during the time of live sessions. So keep on following our community tab. So and you'll definitely going to enjoy, and you are going to learn a lot of things from me. So I think this upgrade will take another half an hour, 15 minutes of time. So meanwhile, we can pause this video. Once this is completed, I'll show you the remaining screen details. Okay, so just wait for a few minutes, and I'll be back. So guys, you can see that batch 2 is also completed, the script execution completed. So as the next process, what I'm going to do, I'll just verify the some commands on the software version across all the nodes. So I'll just execute these commands. Maybe from the first node also we can execute it. So I'll just execute and verify the what is the current cluster version. So you can see that node 1 as well as the node 2 both are running with the 19c version. That means it is successfully upgraded also from 11g to 19c home. Okay, and even though we can just re-verify the active version, what is the current active version of cluster, so we can verify it, and it is showing me 19c. That means our node specific upgradation is also completed, and we can just verify the logs, various logs associated with the database as well as a cluster. So here it is progress to almost 69%. At the end, I think cluster verification will fail because we don't have the DNS. We are currently not using any DNS configuration. So the post check of cluster verification will fail. That is ignorable completely if you are using a DNS based configuration. So generally in any organization, a DNS configuration will always be there. So you don't have to worry about that. These can be ignorable. And also we can just go through all the different logs in order to verify whether everything is going successfully or not. So here we can just look into, because you can see this successfully upgrade cluster version. So After cluster is successfully upgraded, then after that the next step that we are going to do is basically we are going to upgrade the RDBMS home also. So just stay tuned with this video till the end so that you can understand how to upgrade the database also. So currently we are upgrading only the our grid infrastructure for from 11G 11.204 to 19.12. So if you want to know what is the current version of your grid infrastructure, so what you can do, you just have to come out of this and log into the grid users and run the 19C profile. Let me show you how you can do. So if you run SQL plus -v, you can verify it is 1912. That means we have upgraded from the existing 11.204 to the 1912. Okay, so this is how you should doing any upgrade, and I hope you are understanding. Let me just reopen the alerts from both the node 1 as well as the node 2, and as of now you can see this scan is failed because of the DNS. Okay, so if it is not able to verify the DNS entry, so ultimately the scan verification is failed. That is okay, completely okay. This is what I'm saying. So if you go back to the original screen where we are just doing the upgradation, so from here if you look into the here, so you can see the cluster verification is failed. That is okay. So you just have to click skip and click yes. After that you just have to close this one. Okay, so the next step that we need to do, just verify the cluster health status as well as all the post checking we have to do for the ASM. Okay, so as of now we can see that it is up and running, and now I'll just try to execute CRS-ETL check status resource-t command so that we can verify what is my current CRS state. CRS-ETL status resource-t. Okay, command is incomplete. Because of that we are getting this error. So if you look into this status, so here we have all these services are currently online, and even though if you run the check cluster status -all, but it will list out all the status of across all the nodes. Okay, so all these services are currently online, and apart from that you can just re-verify the commands which I given you earlier. So basically this you can execute from existing 11G home also, and as well as you can execute from the 19C home also. So currently our cluster version is the 19 version across all the nodes. So that means our grid infrastructure upgrade is successfully completed, and the next part that we need to target here is just we have to go with RDBMS upgradation. So what I'll do, I'll just take one session with Oracle users, and let me just go to the 192.168.0.161, and this is going to be my Oracle user. So once I'll take the Oracle user session, after that, what I need to do, I need to just first, install the 19C home. After that, we'll upgrade. So existing 11G home, we should keep it as it is. And after that, I'll just, lastly, we have copied the patch on this path, and it is currently having the grid permission. So we can just modify it. So I'll just modify ch on, or else you can just provide a 775 as a permission so that users can access it. So in ch on Oracle, what I'll do, I'll just modify the permission instead of doing anything. To ch mod -r775. This is the latest patch within which we have to. This patch we are going to use while doing the installation of 19C RDBMS home. Okay. So now I'll just log in with Oracle, and I'll go to the 19C profile. I'll just load the 19C profile. I'll just go to the Oracle home location here, and here all the files are already present. So I need to just unzip it. So let me just unzip this file, and once this unzip is completed, then after that I need to do the installation of newly downloaded software of 19C RDBMS home. Okay, so I hope you are understanding how the upgrade of any RAC database, which is an 11G version to 19C latest version. And if you have any queries regarding any points, you just mention in comment. I'll definitely try to help you with my best of understanding. Once the unzip is successfully done, after that we have to also make sure there is a sufficient space available. Otherwise during the time of installation or upgradation, this gives us a warning. So we don't want that last minute surprise. You should always make sure sufficient space is available across all the nodes, so across all the mount points. So once this unzip is finished, then I'll just start the process. So if you look into the my steps, so basically I mentioned some of the extra steps also, like if you want to, you can go with a dry run also. And so dry run, basically this is a part of 19C feature where you can just explore upgradation without actually doing the upgradation. So that is also you can do it. And apart from once your upgrade is upgraded, so the next step that you need to do is upgradation of your RDBMS home. So for that, we have already downloaded the database software, and we have kept this software in our RDBMS 19C home location. And even though we have set the profile also, and permissions are already in the place, and the next step that we need to follow is to run installer apply ru, or wherever the patch is kept, you just have to follow the same thing. So I think the patch is on U02 mount point. So let me just copy this one location. Just first copy it on text pad. Otherwise during the paste of this command, it might be failing. So I'll just go back, and once you come to this point, you have to paste this here. So let's paste it out, and it's basically on U02. I'll just re-verify once our unzipping is finished. And we have to go to the 19C home. From there only we have to execute this. So I think by this time unzip is should finish. Let's wait a few minutes more. And U02 has less space. We need to remove the existing software once the unzip is finished, so that it doesn't cause any issues during the upgrade. Now the software unzip is successfully completed. After that, I can remove this existing line zip file. So it will not consume any extra space. So I'll just remove it out. And even though I'll just remove the existing opatch version, because it is not required to us. So since we have already downloaded latest opatch, so if you want to learn how to download any patch or patch, you can just refer our previous videos also. So I'll just unzip this latest opatch utility. And even though we can verify it by going to the opatch directory and executing the opatch version command, so that it will not cause any issue during the time of upgradation. So it is 1.25. That means it is the latest version. And the next thing that we need to do, we'll just have to verify the space. And also currently 11G of space is there. So this is our location of patch. Sorry, in this case it will be U02, since we kept it on U02. I'll just re-verify it running the ls-lrt command. So this is our bundle patch. So after that, we have to execute the run installer command. and we are currently on the 19C home on the node 1. This is a path, and we have unzipped the software. I'll just run the apply RE command. So currently we are not upgrading it, just we are trying to install the latest 19C home. Once the 19C homes are set across both the nodes, then we can proceed with upgradation. Okay, I'll show you how to do all these steps. You just keep on watching till the end of this video so that you understand it better. Okay. So we are not touching anything on 11G RDBMS home. We are just trying to install the separate 19C home. Okay, you can use any separate mount point, or you can also use the existing home location by creating maybe some other directory on the same mount point. So we are just basically modifying U02 mount point with a name of as a 19C. So my existing location was in place of 19C, it was 11G. So I just modified in the bash profile and created a 19C directory structure, and within that we are just trying to install the latest 19C software. Okay, so I hope you are understanding it. So let's let this patch finish and GUI options come. I'll show you the further steps. Okay. So guys, now we can see that patch is successfully applied, and after that we can see the 19C installer that we have previously also seen how to install. Just we can go through a little quicker here, and you just have to run the setup software only, and you can see the note also for RAC installation setup software only, and then execute the DBCA for database configuration. And if you are upgrading the database, in that case, to upgrade Oracle database, do the setup software only and execute the database upgrade utility. So what I'm going to do, I'll just go ahead with the setup software only, and here we have to select the real application cluster, and after that we need to move further, and we have to select the nodes on which we are going to install. So these are the nodes on which we are going to install the software. So it will verify it whether these nodes are reachable, and whether this SSH connectivity is getting established or not. So once this verification will be over, then basically we can select the installation um, methods, and let me just I think we have to wait. So as of now we haven't touched 11G RDBMS home. We are just separately installing the 19C database software. I hope you are able to understand how the RAC database upgradation works. So here we have to select the enterprise edition. Okay, and we need to move further, and this is the base location of our Oracle database, and this is going to be a software location. Just click next here. So as soon as you click on this next tab, you will get the operating system group. So my preference is always go with a default database groups. So if you want, you can segregate users role by specifying different groups over here. And I'm just checking with a default group of any Oracle users. So next part is we have to execute the root script. So either you can go with the manual root script execution, or just provide the password of root user, and you can do the root script execution automatically. So I'll go with the root automatically execution. So now it is going with the prerequisite check. So once the prerequisite check is over, after that we can move further. Okay. Now the verification is completed, and we can directly ignore these all warnings and the failed states, because the swap is less, and because of the DNS configuration, this resolve.conf errors is coming up. So what we can do, we can just ignore all this, and we can move ahead with the installation. So I'll just click next, and it will start the installation. First it will do a local node installation. After that it will go with a remote node installation. And once this is done, then we can directly go ahead with the database upgradation. I mean the RDBMS upgradation. So currently we are our database is running on the 11G home, so we'll upgrade it to the 19C home. So I think this will take a bit of time. So once this is done, I'll show you the next step what we need to do here. So guys, after waiting for another 5 to 10 minutes, the installer has now finally come with a root script execution. So I just click yes and it will be finished. And with this, our database software, that is 19C software installation is successfully completed on both the nodes. We can verify it. Just we have to run the sql plus -v commands on the respective 19C home sql plus -v. So here you can see it is running with 19.12. As of now, our database is still not upgraded. If you look at the ps-grep command, so it is still running with 19C 11G home only. I'll just again come back to the SQL prompt by going to the Oracle user, and here what I'll do, I'll just take the 11G profile and I'll just verify it so that you don't have any confusion. So far what we have done is we are upgraded the our grid infrastructure. After that, we have installed the 19C software, and now we are going to upgrade the database. So this is our final step that we are going to perform, and I hope you are understanding how this process is going on. So what I'll do, I'll just execute the DBCA from the 19C home, and once sorry, not DBCA, it will be a database upgrade. So the DB upgrade assistant. Okay, DBUA, that is what you have to execute. So once you execute this one, it will come up with a database upgrade interface, and by using this we can upgrade the database. There is another method of doing the upgradation using the auto upgrade method. I'll try to make a video on that also, even though I'm already made a video on auto upgrade method. So if you want, I can provide you the link in the description. There is in the upgrade playlist also, you can verify it. I already provided this video. If you go to my playlist of database upgradation, so I already covered how to upgrade, manual upgrade, how to do the database upgrade using this. These are the basically 12C. So our today's agenda was 11G version. So if you look at the database, so currently it is 11.204 RAC database, which is up and running on this path. So we have to provide the sys user password for 11G ORCL database. So I'll just provide the password, and after that I'll move further. Okay. So now it is fetching the database detail and it is performing the pre-upgrade checks. So once the pre-upgrade check is done, then we can move ahead. And this is basically a graphical way of, graphical interface for doing the upgrade process. Database upgrade utility is one of the most widely used upgrade utility. And even though you can use the latest auto upgrade method also for upgrading the database. So, so here we can see the some of the fix that we need to do. And so what is this? Let's verify, starting with the Oracle 12C, all app catalog warning. This is manually fixable though. So warnings can be ignored, ignore and recycle. We must be completely empty before we perform. So let me just try to fix them again. So we can verify the detail also. Empty the recycle bin immediately before the database upgrade. So I'll just try to purge the recycle bin. Okay. So this is done. Let me just try to re-execute it. So let's see what outcomes comes. So this is basically a pre-upgrade check that we are doing it. So before you proceed with upgradation, you make sure all the prerequisite checks are getting successfully completed. And I think again we are seeing the recycle we must be completely empty before we have. Just a second, I'll need to verify what exactly this is. So after removing the recycle, purging the recycle bin, even though I purged the db underscore recycle bin and I re-verify what is the exact recycle bin count. So as of now, there is nothing, and I re-executed the check again button. So now we can see this error is gone. The error which was coming earlier, it is gone, and now we can proceed. So these things can be ignorable. These are just warnings. We can ignore it and we can proceed further. So let us click next, and here we have the option of enable the parallel upgrade and recompile the invalid object during the post upgrade, and even though upgrade the time zone. So all these options we have selected, and if you want to execute some script before and after upgrade, you can mention here. And even though you can basically take armand backups also at the specified location, or you can just use the flashback and guarantee restore point also. If you want, you can just create a new guarantee restore point during the time of before the actual proceeding with the upgrade options. And there are another options of like create a new partial offline armand backup using with user table space or the full backup. So all these option you can select. Since we are doing a testing, I'll just go ahead with, I have my own backup strategy, so I'm going ahead with this option. After that, we have another option of configuring the EM database express edition. So I'll not select this one, I'll just move ahead. And here is our summary. So after this upgradation process finishes, so what will happen is it will upgrade the release from 11.204 to 19c. So it is basically a base version, and it will upgrade to 1912. I will verify it later also, and these are going to the instances, and all these status basically we can verify. And after that, let's click on the finish, and it will start the upgradation. Okay, and I'll just go back to the original screen where we started this one. So this will verify and it will do the upgradation process. So here we have two options of verifying the alert log as well as the process log. So even though you can look at the alert log by manually also by going to respective directory. So this upgrade will basically take a bit of time. So what I'll suggest is you can plan your upgradation process into different phases. Like first you will do the grid infrastructure upgrade. Maybe in the next downtime you can go ahead with the RDBMS upgradation. So this is how the strategy should be. And if you have a sufficient downtime, then you can directly go ahead with the database upgradation as well as the grid infrastructure upgradation. I hope you are understanding how these things are happen. So if you really like this video, I mean, if you're understanding from this session, so please click on like button, and also share with your friends and colleagues. And if you are new on my YouTube channel, please subscribe. And so as of now, we can see that this upgrade process is basically getting initialized. And meanwhile, you can keep on monitoring the alerts. So click on the progress. So basically it is doing some pre-upgrade. I mean, so executing the fix up prefix object for ORCL database. And so this is going to take a bit of time. And here you can see the database is getting down. So we can monitor both the database alert log. So during the time of upgradation, this will be basically getting stopped and start. So here we can see there are various steps that it needs to go through. So pre-upgrade steps, then database upgrade steps, and after that it will go with finalizing the database component upgrade, then post-upgrade steps. Post-upgrade basically it includes the recompilation, invalid object, time zone upgrade, and executing the post script. So sometimes it is a favorite question for the interviewer, and they will ask you what is the actual steps involved in database upgradation. So you can specify the steps like first we have to do the pre-upgrade steps. So if you are doing any manual upgradation of the database, so it involves all these steps that we are seeing on the screen. So under the pre-upgrade and post-upgrade things, we have to manage certain things. So you can see on the screen that pre-upgrade includes some of the tasks like verifying current database table space and all those valid invalid object count. So those things we have to verify it. And if you want to learn more about how the manual upgrade works, so you can just follow my previous video, which is 12C to 19C upgrades using the manual steps. Okay. So guys, if you look at this upgradation process, you can see that it is still in the upgrade is still happening. But now currently the database is running with 19C home. What we can do is we can just log in with 19C profile. I'll show you the details. So let me just log in with the database. So here you can see only one instance is currently running. Currently this is in upgrade mode. Okay. So this database is currently getting upgrade, and this is 19.12 version. You can see this is a database instance one, and in the background this is basically upgrading the database component. So if you look at the node, second node, that is instance two, so alert log, that is currently the database is still down. So currently the database is down on the second node, and if you go back to the screen on which the upgrade process is happening, so here we can see that the upgrade is still in progress. So this will take another 15-20 minutes. Then after the upgrade is finished, then it will go ahead with the post upgrade steps. Okay, so we have to wait here. So guys, you can see that the database upgrade is still in progress, and around 22 minutes of time has been taken by the Oracle server upgrade. And this is finished, and the next part is in progress. So you can see the J server Java virtual machines are basically getting upgraded. So this is basically a complete process that needs to be for progress. So we have to just monitor, and it will take a bit of time. Once this upgrade is finished, then it will go with post upgrade. Okay. So don't forget to check our description. So there are a lot of things you can go through. There are various video links I provided. Just go through any one of them. Just you wanted to learn, you can just go through it. And if you are new on my YouTube channel, I'll request to please subscribe so that you can keep on getting new updates. And also on coming days, I'm going to start the video session. I mean daily, maybe in a week 2 or 3 sessions as a live stream, so you can get in touch with me on those sessions. Also you can clear your doubts. So keep watching guys, and keep learning, and I'm definitely trying my best to help you out. Guys, now we can see that upgrade step is almost finished. Now it is post upgrade step is in progress. Okay, so once the post upgrade, I mean recompilation of invalid object is finishes, then it will go with the time zone upgrade, and finally it will go with the execute of post upgrade task. Okay, and finally it will show the final result. So here you can see the recompilation of these objects are happening. So invalid objects are getting recompiled, and so we are upgrading from 11.204 to 19C version, and I hope you are understanding how this upgrade process works. So starting with our initial part, I mean the grade infrastructure, we have covered how to upgrade it, and later we have gone through RDBMS home configuration, and after that we are just trying to we are upgrading the database using the database upgrade utility. And also you can use the auto upgrade method for upgrading the database. Maybe I'm going to cover that part in later session, how to upgrade any database which is in 11G to 19C using the auto upgrade method. 12C related 12C to 19C database upgrade using auto upgrade, I already covered it. Mostly the steps will be similar, but if you guys want, I'll definitely try to cover that also in coming days. Okay, so that so let this post upgrade task finishes, and we'll verify the summary, and also we'll do the post check, and then we can conclude this session. And I'll request all the friends whoever is interested about our membership, please enroll today. It is just at 1199 rupees, 19 rupees, and you can get a lot of exclusive benefit from this membership program. Okay, so join our membership and get exclusive contents for Oracle database administrator. So So now we can see that a recompilation of invalid objects are completed. After that, the time zone upgrade is in progress, and the database is restarted, getting restarted. Okay, and if you want, you can just log into the database. So I think the database still not started. So as soon as the database gets started, then we can verify other details also. And as of now, our second instance is currently down state only. Once the upgrade is finished, automatically the upgrade process will start the second instance also. So we don't have to worry about that one. And here we can see the progress of I mean, what is happening exactly. So you can see this is a UTL time zone upgrade is apply.sql file is basically executed previously. So now it is getting restarted. So the database is getting restarted, and once the restart is finishes, then we can verify the time zone also. What is the current time zone? I hope you guys are understanding these all the steps, concepts, and so I want to understand what is the next topic that you want me to cover, and you can mention in the comment. And even though I just sent some details on my community page, you can mention there also. So I'll keep on posting there which next topic you want me to cover. Maybe your feedback will help. So now I'll try to log into the database, and we'll try to verify the details like what is the database. So this is currently started with the database started, and next thing that we can do, we can verify the components details and other stuffs like what is the database role, and what is the current status of the database. So I think still this is still this is in the progress. So we should wait a bit of time. Once this is finishes, then we can go ahead of that. So finally, we can see that our database is upgraded from 11.204 to 19C version. And here is the summary of this entire upgradation process. What you can do, you can just verify these details. So here we can see that the database name is ORCL, and this is upgraded from 11.204 to 19C. And this is the home location, the source database home location, and this is the new home location that we have used, and these are the instance name and the node name. Currently this is active, and all these steps you can verify here. So all the process took around 1 hour 16 minutes. This is basically RDBMS home upgradation which took around this much of time, and my time zone is also got upgraded from 14 to 32. And apart from that, we have the processes count is also upgraded from old version value of 150 to 300. So with this, we can say that our upgrade is successfully done, and we can basically close this window, and we can just go into login into the database and verify the detail also. And I'll just log into the database, and this is the database status. Both the instance 1 and 2 is up and running. This is the current database, and even you can verify the version of the database. So using $, version, you can verify, or we can run the $, version view, we can verify all the details. So let me just describe it. So here you can run the select instance ID, and you can mention the banner full. So it will provide you the detail about both the instance as well as the version of your current database. So now you can see the instance 1 and 2 is in the 1912 version. And apart from that, you can verify all the invalid object counts as well as the components in the database. So I'll just try to execute these commands at one go. And here you can see this is basically upgraded today, and this upgraded state you can see in the action, and this is the current version, and it is upgraded from 11.204 to 1912. Okay, so I think with this, our agenda of so no row selected of invalid object count. This is what the query which we have executed. That means no invalid object counts. So with this, we can say our upgrade agenda of upgrading the database from 11G to 19C is successfully completed, and we have achieved what we have started in this session. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please click on like button, and also in coming days I'm going to cover a lot of such interesting topics. So please subscribe our YouTube channels, and if you have any queries at any point, you just send the details. I'll definitely try to help. And apart from that, if you want any personal training, get in touch with me, and you can get the details from the description. I'll definitely try to give you best training. You can get it. And so let's stop here, and we'll meet in the next class. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great day. Bye bye.